Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. Welcome to the channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is David. And today, if you haven't seen from the title of this video, here is the most easiest way, a simple way, not easiest, but a simple way to get out in front of more clients to make everything more personalized and professional. So without further ado, let's get straight into this. So I want to start off with the proposal, right? So obviously, I want to make sure that this is very streamlined and organized, because when you are sending out a proposal, that doesn't mean you're sending out an agreement. We'll get to that in a second. But when you're sending out a proposal, it means you're essentially giving them the solution to the pain point, to the problem that they're having, right? For example, a proposal should look like this. It should not say sign here, sign on bottom. That is an agreement. This is a proposal. It's a little similar, but it's not all the way the same. So let's go straight into it. A proposal, you should have it say proposal, right? Obviously, the proposal for the client's name, the date, and you can put in your name right here. Obviously, I put in mine. Obviously, it says David, and then my company. And then you could give them a good overview, right? Obviously saying like Ascendius creates custom powered operational infrastructure and replaces bottlenecks. Give them an overview of what exactly it is that you do, so they're able to get more clarity and context. Now you can come down to the goals and outcomes, right? Meaning you can pretty much put in anything. And obviously I just put in here boosts clients retention by 20 to 35% through automated nurturing and reactivation campaigns, lower admin workload by 40 to 60%. You can put anything in here that you want, but this should be the goals and outcomes. Like, what are you doing? Like, why should we work with you? And to the point where we're like, this is the goals and outcomes. Like, this is where we're gonna help you get to, because we know we can. Now, the project scope. This is where you're essentially showing them how the agent is built out or what you're offering, right? Obviously, this is for an AI agent. So for example, we pretty much do phase one where we set up and develop it. We do the scripting, we do the personal setup, we do the integrations as well, and we also test and make sure that the quality is assured, right? Then step two is more so of the launch and optimizations. We do the live deployment, and then we also track them in real-time performance, right? And so we pretty much monitor everything. You can change this how you want, but this is how the layout should be, right? And obviously the timeline, the estimated delivery after onboarding meeting and form submission, right? So obviously this should be very professional. I mean, at this point, this is how it should look like in terms of what the whole proposal should look like. And obviously if you want to have, your logo here at the bottom, in the corner, at the top, wherever it is, just make sure to have your logo, because it is very much more representable. And obviously you're not sending them this Google Doc. You're sending them a PDF after you fill this proposal out. Okay, now this is where we come into the Ascendius contract agreement, right? Obviously, not Ascendius, but your contract agreement on how you're going to be able to position yourself to be able to send these agreements towards your clients or the providers, right? So obviously this is how it's going to look. Make sure to have your logo because it looks a little bit more professional. So obviously you're going to label it as contract agreement, your business name, contract agreement. Then you're going to say prepared for client name, created by your name, and then obviously first name and last name, and then your business. Then you're going to have the terms and conditions, right? Now this is where it's important, because this is where a lot of mistakes are going to happen, right? And you don't want these types of mistakes to happen. So you're going to say service provider, your business, the client's name, full name and last name, the effective date when you have sent out this agreement, date, month and year, or month, day and year, whatever it is that you do. And then pretty much essentially provide them an overview again. Now with this saying like the setup fee, X, and then due before work begins, and X a month, a monthly retainer, if you do charge a monthly retainer. And then obviously say this, right, 30 days, the late payments may be charged 10%. It really depends on what you charge and what your fee is for late payments and late invoices. But this is how it's all going to work, right? So you might be wondering, why is this blank? Well, you can essentially go into PandaDoc. I mean, there's lots of, websites out there that you can do to essentially have people sign. So this is why you can leave it blank in here. So when you do put this into PandaDoc, then you can add in their information. So, instead of people having to type in, and your clients have to type in your agreements, right? They can just pretty much click buttons and then their name gets into this, right? So obviously this is why there's blanks here. Obviously you can also see that you can add in a guarantee. To be honest, every company should have a guarantee. So we added our guarantee in here, right? And then obviously if you come down in here, now this is where you're going to say, the signing below. So obviously I want to make sure that this is a little bit more bigger, because this is where it gets a little more, more important, right? So obviously you're going to say this, then you're going to come into here and put in your company name, your full name, what your title is. Are you a consultant? Are you a CEO? Whatever, right? And then obviously you're going to put in the date. of when you sign this or when you create this, and then this is when the client's gonna come here, put their name, their company, their title, or the CEO, founder, director, and then the date right here. So all of this right here, you don't really need. I'm gonna just get this, deleted out the way, because like I said, you can go into PandaDoc and have them just click a button and then all of this will be filled out. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Because at the end of the day, this is the contract, this is the proposal. If you have these two built out, and it shouldn't really take you any longer than 30 minutes, to be honest. Honestly, 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, you can create these. 20 minutes is a stretch, to be honest. 15 minutes is all you need and you're good. So if you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a comment, like, or maybe even subscription down below. If you want to see a little bit more of these videos, I'll definitely be posting out these more consistently. That way I'm able to give you more advice and just being able to give you a little bit more clarity on what it is that we do as well. But other than that, feel free to leave a comment, drop a subscription, like the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.